Welcome to the channel. This is Clarity Empress, the Empress of Clarity, here to bring you a collective energy reading for my Clarity piece, Empress Collective. I don't know what I was about to say just now, but thank you for coming. Glad y'all could be here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell. That way you're notified anytime I come on. We can get this thing started earlier. Mm. Alright, I'm gonna get my deck ready. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, wait a minute. Let's see if I can hear. Okay, yes, I can. I can. Ew, what's that? Let me watch later. Carmen. What's up, Carmen? You doing, boo? Alright, so let's get cracking. The like. Turn this down. Alright, what's good, collective? What's good? So, yeah, Spirit said no access or access without accountability. I feel like that's been part of the problem with those that like to come back. Access without accountability. That will not do. That will not do. All right, Spirit, give me a message for the collective. What they need to know or be aware of. Hold on. Okay, Spirit, give me a message for the collective. Oh, I can't make this up. I can't make it up. Somebody thinks they're a hustler. The first thing that came to mind is Jay-Z's song, I'm a hustler, baby. I'm a hustler, baby. Ask about me. Yeah, so somebody feels like they're very cunning. This person is bold and manipulative, and they are relentless. Okay, somebody wants to be able to control whatever goes on between the two, but this person wants access without accountability. They're greedy, selfish minded. Thanks for coming to the Spiritual Lounge. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Oh, somebody feel like this little hustler that feels like they got control feels like they got your love locked down, collective. Okay. Yeah, ring that bell. That way you're notified anytime I come on. If this is your first time coming, welcome. If not, welcome back. Thank you for being here. All right, tell me more, Spirit. Left hanging. Ah, see, this is telling the story. Okay. Also, only three of my five cards spread with the overall energy. Somebody has, there was a person in your life, probably could be current, could be past tense, could be in and out, in and out. This person has control issues. They may be an avoided person who creates boundaries when their emotions are triggered. They feel like they control the situation. They decide when they could come in and when they come out. They feel like you are an option that they can keep the door cracked open. They don't have to go anywhere because your love is locked down. As far as they're concerned, they can go do whatever they want, come back when they feel like it. That's what I'm getting. Also, we got left hanging. So this person in the hidden energy may have left you hanging, feeling all alone. This person ghosted. This is somebody who couldn't stay still, wouldn't stay still, got triggered, felt something, wanted to make sure that they had you, but you couldn't have them. You get what I'm saying? And so many people do stuff like that. I'm sorry if this is happening to you or has happened to you, but it is, I feel like these painful times are designed to bring out the best in our self-worth. Whether we like it or not, these are lessons. Okay? And what we learn and what we gain from these lessons are important. All right? But yeah, thank you again for coming, y'all. Like, share, and subscribe. But if you don't shut that door on somebody that's doing this kind of energy to you, somebody who feels like they can control the situation, they could come and go as they please. No, no ma'am, no ham, no turkey. We don't do that. No. What's the challenge and the lesson with this person, Spirit? Hey, what's up, Lottie? How you doing, boo-boo? So the challenge is when life gives you lemon, make lemonade. But Spirit didn't say to make the best out of every situation. Sometimes you got to move on from a situation, and that is the best you can make of it, right? You go on and make something better of yourself. But making something, sometimes how I read those transcripts to y'all, right? To break some things down, because I like to read things as Gemini. The way I communicate is I don't like to leave things out, and sometimes when you flow, I know me, I'll do a whole reading and feel complete when the reading is over. The next day, I might listen to the reading and go, "Damn, I should have said this. I wish I had mentioned this part." Right? So when I read those scripts, sometimes that helps me say things clearly. And you don't keep the whole, you got that right. You got to throw parts of them lemons out. But I feel like I don't always, I like to be thorough. That's the best way I could say it. And I feel like sometimes there's parts that's missing. And it may not have been missing. It may have been stated exactly the way it needed to be said for whoever needed to hear it. But sometimes I'm like, no, I need to be more thorough. So all I'm saying too is when it comes to a person in your life, you don't have to hold on to every part. You don't need every part. You learn, get the lesson, take the lesson, make the best you can with the lesson. Like she said, you don't keep the whole lemon when making lemonade. Now, if you need the lemon peel, you scrape that. But that white part is not useful unless you know what you're doing. I don't know any use for it. Some people might, I don't. They either, what they call that, wow, the perfect card. Cut the cord. Detach. Um. Okay, so I gotta say what I'm hearing Spirit say before I lose that thought. When you are in a situation or a relationship with somebody who feels like they can have access without accountability with you, that they can lock your love down, make sure that you still care, keep you as an option, leave the door, slightly ajar so that they can slip in when they want to, slip back out, and then leave you hanging, and that's okay for them. Just long as you right there, right? They can create a cycle, a pattern. That cortisol, dopamine cycle. They could cause stress in your life, but then turn around, give you that dopamine fix. Every time they come in and show a little attention, a little affection, you know what I'm saying? Your dopamine goes up, you take a little hit. They create an addiction. And as long as they feel like you are addicted in that relationship or whatever that is, that situationship, they can go and come and say, "Please, what's up, Chrissy? What's going on, country Chrissy? Good to see you." But yeah, so that's what Spirit's saying is it's time to just cut the cord. It's time to not accept any more trauma or drama from your person, any more addiction cycles. You know, the thing about addiction, right? When we as humans get addicted to substances, you notice that if you I'm not saying I'm not an addiction specialist, but I've seen some videos, some things, and what they basically say is the reason why the person keeps chasing the high is because they keep trying to chase the original high. They never can achieve that high. They can get high, but they can never achieve the original high. So what they say happens over time is the high diminishes, right? So even if they like I'm about to say epidemic and crackheads will get a piece of crack. I guess they fire it up, smoke it up, and they get high, right? But each time further down the line that they keep getting that crack, it get them high. But so maybe the first time they was high for hours, and the next time they were high for, okay, so let's give it a number. They was high for like 10 hours. I don't know what that's like, but maybe it's 10 hours. The next time they high, it's 9 hours, and slowly but surely, as time goes on and the more substance they take, the lessen the time. So the next time, let's just say flash forward in time, they've been on this for a couple years. Their high time be like an hour before they need something else because that other high gone. It's kind of like on relationships as well. Diminished return, yes. But it's like you keep chasing what you got originally and you can't hold it in your hand. Now, a person that does that in the cycles is trying to keep you, they like your dealer, your pusher, or whatever you want to call them, and you're the one coming back for the product. Only thing is, the product is never as good as it was the first time. Each time you come back for more product, it disappoints you quicker. And so you turn to get over it, but you don't always get over it if there's hope that it's going to be like that first time. And that's the breadcrumbs that people give you. You know, it's going to be great. We're going to do this now. We're going to do that now. And they don't do none of that shit. Nothing they promise. It's all a breadcrumb. By the time you turn around and pick it up, them breadcrumbs is gone. So I think Spirit is saying you got to make the best of what you have for you. But in the meantime, and the likely outcome is that you will cut the cords from your person if you have not done it already. And then sometimes with situations like that, when they feel like they done kept the door open, an example would be um, you keeping some of their clothes or items or things, right? And then at your house, and they gotta come retrieve it. That opens the door to start the breadcrumbing again. Vice versa, they'll keep some of your stuff at their house. Oh, I gotta return your things. An opportunity to speak to you again, right? Start that breadcrumbing. Spirit said that is got to end. You got to cut the cords. What's the bottom of the deck? Because this person has third party issues. Now, third party don't it's not giving romantic, but it's still a third party. You know, this person comes from lower vibrational energy with hustler. But I see you raising your frequency. I see you cutting the energetic cords. The likely outcome is you are cutting those cords. It says release, detachment, clarity, empowerment, purification, boundaries, and healing. All of that cuts the cord because you'll no longer be open for those temporary highs, those comebacks, those cries, those breadcrumbs, those lies. You're not going to be down for none of that. And that was bars. I didn't even know. I didn't even know. I ain't even know. But I'm just saying, like, once you get that clarity, oh, this is what this person is doing to me. I don't like how this feels. This does not feel healthy, good. This person is not upstanding with me. They are playing with me, tossing. You know what I'm saying? Just, I'm prey. I am the prey and they are the predator. It don't feel good. It don't feel good. It don't feel good. Tell me about this hustler spirit. Hmm. Black cherry. Uh oh. About to drop it. What is this? Yes. So this hustler failed miserably. Mm. They failed to keep a spell on you. Their manipulations no longer work. All of that's past energy. You know, a lot of these people, there's avoidant type energy, whether they're narcissistic or not, they learned this from their childhood. So they observed their parents. They're very much like the people that raised them. Okay. They may not want to be, and they may be in their own way, but they are very much like the broken people that raised them. And if they watch that broken adult try to maneuver and manage and hustle people, they also try to manage, maneuver, and hustle people, right? And it doesn't work always the same. Like, it still means that it leads to broken and failed relationships, broken and failed attempts at maneuvering and controlling, because everybody can't be controlled. They may see their parent being able to finagle a few people for a good while. They might have long term dummies that just no one ever wanted to learn a lesson. They was just stuck, manipulated, abused mentally, whatever, and they had them on a string for a minute. That will cause somebody who's raised by that to think that they can go out in the world do the same thing, only for karma to slap them in the face harder. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, people think, well, I didn't see my parents take accountability for their actions, so I most certainly must be smart and cunning as well. And they ain't. And they ain't. Tell me about this love lockdown. Tell me more, Spirit. Oh, y'all, look at this right here. This person, whoever you got in your life, feels as if they're able to have access to you without accountability. They feel like they have an unfinished love story with you because they are not currently participating in a love story with you. They feel as though this is a very selfish, uh, diabolical individual. Okay, to think that they got you so locked down, they put you on that shelf, they come back and get you whenever they want, and then y'all can resume, and then they can go back and leave you hanging and put you back on that shelf. Listen, failed. Spirit said failed at that. They thought. Nope. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Yeah. Not. Ooh, about to drop this deck. Hold on, y'all. So we got a lot of tea on here. We got Chrissy, we got Black Cherry, we got Carmen. That's what's up. Thank you for coming, ladies. So tell me about left hanging, Spirit. Oh, unapologetically real. If you don't like the truth, get to stepping. So you were honest, and this is why this person would leave you on red or delivered or whatever. They would not show up for you. This person couldn't handle your truth. You triggered this person emotionally. This person tries to treat you like they have grown up being treated. And they can't handle your they can't handle the way you love. They can't handle your truth, your clarity, your understanding. This is somebody that would want you to not think too hard about them in a way that would cause you to question what they're about. They wouldn't want you to question them. Again, They want access without accountability. Okay? Tell me about this making lemons. Ooh, they got an STD, y'all. Mm. So they either got a sexually transmitted disease or a spiritually transmitted something. But something ain't right with this person. Tell me more, Spirit. Ooh, well, damn. You had no choice but to cut ties with this rat ass energy. This sneaky coward. This is a jellyback. Okay. Scavenger, opportunist. Oh God. And they coming with that real nasty energy because this person is only to come in. They're only gonna come in to see what they can get from you. It whether it's love, whether it's money, time, energy, they're like a vampire. This is your vamp. This is the person that comes in to steal and suck you dry of your energy. No matter what currency you're offering. Love, money, time, attention, affection, whatever. And then they feel like that source is like a battery up their back. It makes them feel whole. It makes them feel like they can conquer the world. They feel strong. They feel like they can go face all other bullshit because they got you. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to deal with you all the time, though. Mm-mm. They can come back and see you whenever. Whenever they need a little tune up, a little juice up, a little charge, they come see you. That's what they think. Because they feel like y'all have an unfinished love story, not realizing that either you've already cut the cords or you're very close to it, meaning that maybe the next interaction, it ain't going to be what they think it's going to be. What's the bottom of the deck? Peace. Yeah. Spirit said they needed to go find themselves something safe to do. To be quite honest, they need to leave you the hell alone and go find something safe to do. Okay? This person is really heartless. They need somebody to fill up their cup. And that's why they're your vamp. That's why they come back to you. That's why they go looking for you to, plug up some of them holes temporarily. They don't last because this person doesn't understand what lasting means. That's why they got you in these cycles. However, you like, nah, I'm protecting my peace now. You know what I'm saying? And with that energy cord, you got your boundaries up, your clarity, your understanding, and you are in your empowerment and healing era. This person can't do you like that. Not anymore. You know what I'm saying? Oh Lord. That means if y'all getting it, that means it's coming. I don't want it though. I don't want that cold energy. I mean cold air. So yeah, I'm gonna say this. Good for y'all. Carmen, everybody, anybody on the live, you've experienced this and you cut that cord. You don't. The door is not cracked in any way for any entry. As I like to say, no entrada. Right? They can't come in. Well, if you've done that and you're healing and you're happier and you're optimistic and you can see how things could be a lot better, you are on the right track. You are on the right road. Your journey is just beginning. There's so much to open up to because you won't have this baggage of a person that's cold-hearted and manipulative in your in your path, like in your way. It's not somebody that can stop you from getting what you got to do. Like for the goals that you have, the things you want to do in your life, as long as you cut the cord, they can't stop or block you. They won't know what it is for sure. You know what I'm saying? They can't argue you into submission. They can't argue you into frustration. You know how you ever had somebody in your life that you got something planned and you can't wait to go do it. It could be a birthday, it could be a holiday, a friend's event, or whatever. But this person creates an argument so that you don't have a good time. That's this person. And you're cutting the cord from an energy like this who is heartless. They don't care. As long as you feeding what they got going on, that's all they care about. So if you thought this person cares about you, no, they don't care about themselves. But they damn sure don't care about you, because this is somebody who feels like, I gotta ruin it for others. I gotta ruin it for others. When they need to just focus on, you know what I'm saying, improving their life, they'd rather ruin things for others. This is definitely a heartless individual. The depths of this person's heart is so full of holes and damage and trauma and all kind of stuff that they cannot handle who you are to them, or who you were to them. That trigger, that this is what activates their control mechanisms. It activates their control mechanism. Why? Because you're not having the foolishness. It says unapologetically real. You are an honest, candid, unwavering person. Trustworthy, direct, bold, fearless. Open, loyal, and real. Like, this person, they ain't used to that. They're not used to that. Hello, Sabata. Nice to meet you. And so, what does it say? Texas is bipolar right now. Oh, Lord. So, when it comes to situations like these, it is best to cut the cord with them. Here's the thing. People like this don't like to close the door. You have to close the door. They will not do it. This person is not trying to let you go without an ability to reconnect. Like I said, to give you an example of holding on to your things or keeping their things with you, so that at some point in time they can come back, get it, open up the doors of conversation, and then start the breadcrumbing once again. And what people don't realize is that people like this need to be told no. They need you to say no. They need you to enact your boundaries. They need you to go heal. Because what they need is the lesson. Not temporarily, not a treatment like silent treatment. No. They need you to go heal so you can be happy. And then they can go figure it out what they want to do. Do they want to choose to suffer and be mentally and emotionally devoid? Or do they want to go heal as well? Now, splitting ways does not mean a coming back together. I'm not speaking on that. I'm speaking on, they need to hear that no, because that is a consequence of their action. There is no access without accountability. Period. Period. You said I'm right, but how do we cut the cord? Well, it all depends on what your situation is. Okay? Because if you don't live with the person, blocking is like one of the first things you do. You really, you know what I'm saying, in that connection by, here's your things. If you got to ship it to them, ship it to them if it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Um, Retrieve anything you can that is not, and if it's not important, like you can't replace it, get those items, right? But if you can replace it, let it go. Consider it trash. It doesn't belong to you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they're living with you, then you got to make other arrangements. Yeah, you got to go no contact. I wouldn't leave anything important with somebody. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to want something very important to you. Like, I wouldn't leave pictures of my loved ones with me in it, like a photo album. I wouldn't leave anything like that at their place. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would not want anything that I could not replace in their possession. I wouldn't even act like I had a problem with them when I retrieved it. We'd be good. I'm going to be real good with you. Get my stuff back. I'll never do that again, but I'll be real good with you. Oh, hey, yeah, everything's great. Then after I got everything I need up out of there, Block, 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 block. My block party, my block list would be so long. I'm gonna block them. I'm gonna block their family. I'm gonna block their friends, their cousins, their co-workers, whoever I ain't really there's no importance to that is not my family member. I might block one of my family members if they try to convince me to talk to them. I'm just saying, block. And then I would go do me. I would go do me, and then unless you feel unsafe when it comes to them, I would let people that are close to you that could keep you safe know that you had to block that relationship. You had to end that relationship because a lot now times out of 10, people like this that feel like they have unfinished business, they don't know how to let go, and that's okay. Yep, and forgiveness for self, absolutely. Yep, find something to do. So you're working, advance your career. If you starting a business, pour more energy into that. If you want to lose weight, pour energy into working out and eating better and different or whatever it is, right? Um, Whatever you need to do to occupy your time. Don't fall, try your best. Because this is an addiction, like I was saying in the beginning of this reading. It's an addiction to be dealing with somebody who may be in and out your life. They feel like they can always come back. They feel like they can pick up where they left off. They can feel like they can breadcrumb you and then leave you hanging again. That person is more in the delulu energy of this being an addiction once you find your clarity, right? Because y'all do the dance together until one of y'all get off the dance floor. And when you choose to get off the dance floor, that means you seen what was happening. You see, like, you on the dance floor, y'all face to face, arm in arm, dancing, dancing, dancing. You do a one twirl and they done disappeared and danced with somebody else. No. And maybe they done did that at several times, several occasions. No, it's not going to be different. This person is not different. I feel like that's what the crux of the issues are. They said, this one therapist said, oh, I heard somebody said their therapist told them that the people who need the therapy the most are the people who cause the damage, not the people in the therapy. Ain't that something? People go to a therapist to go heal from all the shit that they've been through with these people. But those are the ones that need the most therapy. And 9 times out of 10, they're not changing anything. And you know this. So you have to answer yourself, am I giving this person access without accountability? Are they doing the work? What have they done to be different than the last time I saw them? Other than a month went by, a year went by, or whatever the case may be. What did they do different that will change anything if we re-engage? And if you can't come up with an answer, there's your answer. You have to nothing that. Okay, let me scroll back. All right, you said forget to find something to do, but what if your situation doesn't have fighting in it? Just go. Oh yeah. Definitely listen to your intuition. That's right, Carmen. Uh-huh. Only you can make that decision. Your intuition is key. Yes. Listen, I will say this too. I'm a reader. I don't know you. Okay? I'm going to tell the story how Spirit gives it to me. If it resonates with you, take it. If it don't resonate, don't take it. That's first disclaimer. Number two, if you have a friend or family member that might have seen you go through this and don't want to see you go through it anymore, they're going to tell you to leave. If they love you, they're going to tell you, let this shit go. Cut the cord, right? But I'm going to tell you like this. Sometimes it's not time to cut the cord until you feel you have to get to that point where your intuition has already screamed at you and then the feelings go numb, right? That's when you can cut it. Like, you don't have the feeling anymore. Because sometimes you got to go around that bend. You got to take another embarrassing go around with this person to be like, damn it, I knew it. I knew it. Sometimes we got to prove it to ourselves a few times before we realize, no, I really am getting played. He really is doing this, or she really is thinking I'm stupid. Like, oh, wow. Not because you weren't smart the first time, it's just your emotions are so invested. And that's what they're banking on, this love lockdown energy, right? And so you will be thinking, okay, um, I'll hold on to that. I'll hold on to this. And then one day you can't hold it no more. You don't want to hold it no more. You're done. You're finished. Right? That's when you know. That's when you know. But people that love you, care about you, are going to tell you, you got to stop doing this. Look what they're doing to you. And hopefully you get it before it gets really bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people will take you down the road and leave you in the gutter. You don't want to end up in the gutter. All I'm saying is you got to get to the point where you recognize this is unhealthy for you emotionally, mentally. It's not supportive. It keeps you in that survival mode kind of energy. Even if there's no, they don't have to beat you to abuse you. They don't have to put hands on you to emotionally abuse you. Spirits of, I don't know what that is. So you can't, can you get a therapist, or is there a clergy in your area? Somebody who doesn't know you, won't judge you, that you can speak to. Also, um, I don't know where you are in the world, right? But on my about me or about this channel page, I have links. And one of the links, it says mental health, right? You have to click on the link bio. Once you go into the link bio, I feel like I have that link at the top. It is for mental health. And if I'm not mistaken, it's NAMI is the association that it links to. And it may have international phone numbers. I know it has state lines, 800 lines, but there is information where you can call those numbers. And if you're having any emotional things going on, there are numbers where you can have that discussion with a stranger that's going to listen to you and direct you to resources that may be of help to you. Okay, so Toronto. Yeah, I'm hoping that that it exists up there. But if it doesn't, there are 800 numbers you can call. And I don't know how the exchange rate goes, excuse me, between the states and here. But it's worth a try, because nothing beats a failure but a try, right? You got to make an effort. If you don't have people that you really trust around you, go talk to a stranger who is trained in mental health to help you sort out what you're dealing with, you know? Aw, I hope so. Yeah, I would think Canada does have a very similar system. And to be honest with you, it's probably better than ours given the state of my country right now. Okay, I'm just going to put that disclaimer out. But there are available resources. And I want to say, because there were so many telephone numbers on that listing that I had to put it up. Because again, we go through so many things. I even got certified as a mental health coach. No, I'm sorry, mental health CPR person. So I feel like mental health, mental and emotional health is very dear to me as a I can't get the words out, y'all. But it just means a lot to me, because I don't read tarot just to talk to spirit. I read tarot for mental health reasons. You know what I'm saying? For people to get clarity. That's why the channel is called Clarityempress. Because the best thing you can do is get clear in your mind. That helps navigate your life, right? It helps you do head over heart decisions. It helps you know when to lean into your heart, when to listen to your emotions, when to listen to your intuition. Hopefully, in your situation, when you call that line, they might give you tips. How do you meet people in your area? So you can learn how to become a friend to them and they could become a friend to you. Because a lot of this is, if you're in a situation here, Sabata, I hope I'm saying that right. Um, no, I don't read like that. When I do pull cards personally, that's when I could tell you if spirit is telling me that. I'm not that reader unless I'm reading you direct. This is collective. But what I'm saying is, um when you don't trust yourself, it is hard to open up to other people. It is hard to find friendships when you're not in agreement and in alignment with yourself. So don't worry about having specific friends right now. Go find the help that you need, right? So you can learn to trust yourself. And the more you learn to trust yourself, you'll know spirit will lead you to your soul tribe. Spirit will lead you to your persons, okay? Friends, family, they might become your family, whatever. You will learn. You'll learn. How do you get a reading? Okay. Oh, let me see if it's in the comments yet. I didn't pin it if it is. Hold on, slow. 1 minute. I don't think it's in the comments. Okay. So Sabbath. I typically go on mm-hmm. Yeah. Like Carmen said, you need a neutral person at this point more than just a friend, because a friend is not going to be neutral. They're not going to be non-objective. If you had, So, in the bio of my descriptions of all of my videos, now I don't know what it looks like when y'all are on live. I don't think the bio comes up while we're on live. So, you can go to the bio of a previous reading on this channel. So, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And any of them will have my email address. You can email me and then I'll explain to you how readings are done when it's personal. Now, if you would like a live donation reading, I typically do those on Thursdays, right? And Sundays. I am not guaranteeing I'm on a Thursday or Sunday anymore, only because life is starting to pick up on my other life. You know what I'm saying? But no, the work that I do, and so now more than likely I'm here on a Thursday or a Sunday, and you would be better off trying to book a personal reading with me. Okay, no problem. Thank you, y'all. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Lati. Lati is Lati does readings too, and I don't know if you do personals, Lati? I'm glad I gave you some peace. That's what the point of this channel is. I'm sorry, I'm just moving my camera. That's the point of this channel, y'all, is to give peace, to give clarity, to give understanding. It's not to sit there and just tell you the worst of the worst. It's to tell you how to navigate it, or to validate your experience so you can understand there is some things that you may need to do. You know what I mean? So yeah, so Lati, if you have information to share regarding your readings, please share it in the comments. Okay, so you share that in the comments, and I'm gonna go on with the reading because I just pulled out my other deck before we start talking. Hey, Black Cherry, you back? All right, so hustler. Yeah, somebody thought they could just offer love and you would fall for whatever that offer is, right? Because that's in the past energy. This is the person that comes around with that little piece of dopamine to keep you attracted, keep you going. All right, tell me more, spirit. Divinity. Ooh. So I feel like somebody definitely was like saved by spirit. Like spirit stepped in. Because this ain't this person ain't innocent. This is only like divine. It's given temperance energy, but it's given like somebody coming to an understanding that this person, this what they thought was their person, it really is not for them. An understanding. But it's like a spiritual understanding. Sometimes we can't explain those spiritual understandings. Like, I can't put my finger on it, but I feel it. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of energy. I can't put my finger on it, but I know it's there. That's when your intuition is screaming at you. Girl, it's right there. Look. Yeah, because this person was a thief. What did I say? Thief of your energy. They vamp. They come in and they take your energy, your time, your mind, your before you know it, you are wiped out dealing with this person. They'll take money, whatever you got to offer. This person ain't got no problem faking it, and they think they're getting away with something. But spirit told you to walk away, abandon that, let that shit go. Yeah, it is. It's screaming. What they call it? They said the signal's coming from the inside, and they right there looking at you like, I don't know what happened. You know what happened. You stole it. You took it. Tell me more, spirit. Child. You know what I heard spirit say, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. This could be a child. This does not have to be a love relationship, y'all. It does not have to be romantic. Okay. This could be when you have a child in your life that can't get right and wants to come in and out of mommy and daddy's life, and they, you know what I'm saying, they out there in them streets, but at the same time they want to run back home and play in and out the house, to the point where some parents have to do that. What they said was tough love back in the day. They have to do tough love, like, okay, you want to be for the streets, but that you can't bring that street stuff into my house, so stay out there in them streets. Well, this person can also be like that child in that they could be very childish. They have not grown up. They're heartless. They don't have emotional maturity yet. They haven't learned. Their bodies are grown, but their mind is very much of a child stuck in their childhood trauma with that arrested development. So, they cannot grow with a person that's more emotionally healed. And then, so this person is very childish, selfish, you know? And if it's your child, this person, especially, it just tends to happen when there's interference in the growth, right? So I know people who have grandparents that interfered in their child's life to the where that child starts to take on that grandparent's personality, which is toxic. Or, excuse me, your you may have a mate, or I should say parent, you co-parent with a toxic parent, and this child wants to gravitate toward the toxic parent ways. It could be that too, right? But when you realize that how that is impacting you, and that the child will not change their ways because they're still gravitating to the interfering caregiver, I guess you want to call it, they have to make a choice and you have to make a choice, and that's where boundaries come in. I have to cut that cord from you, and you're not gonna take me down with you. I still gotta exist in the world. You know what I'm saying? And there's flying monkeys here, people watching. You know, none of the, especially if a child is picking up on interfering caregivers' ways, 9 times out of 10, there's other people observing this and being very gossipy about it. That's where the flying monkey come from. Also, like I was telling y'all last night, when I picked up that flying monkey card last night, and it's giving a little bit of that now, it's just people got a little something to say. They not helpful to the situation. They're not really concerned about it, in any way to offer assistance. These are just people who want to observe and talk about it. They're not in it, so they can just stand there and watch. Okay, and they're not innocent bystanders either. They're just people that say, "Oh, wow, that's messed up. Look what happened." You know what I'm saying? All right, tell me more, Spirit. Yeah, and this person is now concerned. Why? Because their tricks. Oh, so Spirit said the tricks are not working anymore. Remember what I said about cycles, y'all. You could go cycling with this person over and over and over again until that dopamine don't hit no more. Right? And it's just pure cortisol levels from there. Nothing but stress. And then when you are finally done suffering, when you just choose no longer, I don't want to suffer anymore, right? You start to feel nothing. And you no longer want to put in any effort into this person anymore. You're just done. And then your mind, if you're working with a healthy mind, your mind is going to decide, okay, well, how do I end this? Because I don't want to suffer anymore. I don't want to be in this anymore. This is not getting me anywhere. This is not helping me in any way. I could be over here doing this. I want to, and this person is impeding my progress just by virtually by just being around me. I need to go do something else, right? People, that's when people start plotting divorces. This is when people start, ending and severing ties and relationships, because now they know I am no longer emotionally invested. I have to cut the cord. What do I need to do? And they start thinking about what they got to do. So this person might be concerned that they done took you around the clock way too many. Let me show y'all. Way too many times. Way too many times. Tell me more. Yeah, manifestation. This person is trying. I will say this: you need to work on your manifestations and focus on that. But I think this person is trying to manifest you, right? Because they feel like they have an unfinished love story with you. This is not somebody who's looking for an ending. Okay, if they found any divinity, meaning they done found, I don't know, clergy, or they think they found God, this person is not. And you know what? Let me pray that this person don't leave me. But they know, the thing is, there is an energetic shift that happens when your emotions go numb, especially when you are feminine energy, because everything about how that relationship it feels changes. I don't care if you wake up every day and do the same routine every day. When your emotions change, they pick up on that. Poof, uh-oh, mayday, there's a problem. They observe that. Now, they not may not always move with their intuition, but they know you when they're with you, right? So that person will know, oh, this is not, something's different, mayday. And then, but when you have reached that threshold and crossed over to nothingness with this person, ready to cut the cords, if not already cut, there's no coming back from that, right? Their old tactics, their old ways, their old schemes. They're such a pattern oriented person. They really don't know how to think outside the box to try nothing new. They might say something that sound a little different. They might say something that you been wanting to hear, but they don't actually act any different. The mask comes off for a hot second, goes right back on. They just can't just change overnight like that, right? Once they realize something's wrong. And now somebody's concerned because you must be, and I'm just talking collectively, you must be exhibiting some changes. Like, oh shit, the high don't work no more. It's a little different. Tell me more, spirit. Ooh, intuitive calf. I'm telling you, they feel like they intuitive now. Like, oh, I done picked up on the problem. Ah, oh, mayday, mayday. I done left them hanging way too many times. Let me not ghost, uh, after 3 days. Let me hang out for like a week. And then I can go get my break. Right? Because their emotional regulation is what's calling for these breaks and this ghosting. That's how they emotionally regulate when you trigger them. Right? If you're offering a person love and nurturing and they're not used to that, that's why they get triggered and they need to run. You know what I'm saying? They cannot hold on in situations like this because you just they and everybody's little cycle pattern is different. But if they can't hold on to the situation, they gotta go disappear. They gotta go recalibrate. They gotta go isolate, or they gotta go distract themselves. Right? That's why you'll see somebody go and have a good time with somebody else and be thinking to yourself, well, if you couldn't talk to me, why are you talking to all of them? Because those people don't mean nothing to them. So they gotta go regulate by being distracted because you was too triggering. You were asking for accountability. I can't do that. That sounds like controlling me. That's what they thinking. Oh, you want to control me? What you mean give you accountability? What you mean apologize for my actions? What? That just sounds like it's too much. I'm not ready for all of that. They start making excuses for their own behavior, but there ain't no excuse for it. They make excuses but don't apologize. Ain't that crazy? What that man say? Um, okay, have a good night and elevated awakenings. Oh, Black Cherry, did you see that video I sent you? And the guy was calling on his friend saying elevated awakenings, and they were like, "Wait, what?" And one of them said elevated awakenings. Hmm, that sounds like something I need. So elevated awakenings to you guys in the morning, y'all. Good night, y'all. Good night, whoever gotta go. Good night, and thank y'all for coming. Yeah, it is harder to stay. Ooh, child. Divination. And this is the challenge and the lesson. I feel like, too, we turn to tarot when we want to understand our situation. We want that clarity. And sometimes tarot be telling us the truth we just don't want to face. We don't want to know. We see the death card. We see the tower card. We see justice, and we see judgment, and we see the world card, and we think, oh, but it can't be over. He's gonna get right one day. Yeah, he might. He might. Very slim chance of that. He might though. But can you hold your breath that long? If the answer is no, then what do you think you should do? Because if you're able to hold your breath, I'm just saying you're not, right? You basically suffocating yourself, and then what? You're suffering and you expire. So you gotta ask yourself, can you hold your breath waiting for this person to change? Can you hold your breath? No? Oh, okay. Yes, Chrissy, tell her. Good night, Chrissy. Night, night, y'all. I know y'all got to get up, got to work. And the likely outcome. And we done. Oh, shoot. Now, this is the first time for me that this card flipped out to South Node. This person is not ready for change. 9 times out of 10, whoever they are, they're very much comfortable but uncomfortable in doing the same thing over and over again. They're not elevating, they're not reaching their higher self kind of energy. This is somebody still stuck in their south node. So, when we come to this planet, we get a divine assignment, and that's our north node. That divine assignment is like spirit is saying, go ahead and seek a higher vibration. Go ahead and learn your lessons and then elevate your life in multiple ways, right? But when you're in your south node, you're still doing some of the same things that you were doing in your previous life, your past life, right? And it's not serving you. 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a lot of roadblocks by doing the same thing over and over again. This person is doing that. There's no growth. This is their emotional maturity is stunted, and they're repeating things. So even if they can't repeat it with you anymore, they're still repeating things in general. They're still repeating things in general. Okay, so let's get some advice with this. Oh, here we go. See you next time, Chrissy. Tell me more, Spirit. We're going to do 3 in the bottom of the deck and we out, okay? All right. It says full circle completion. You have chosen to learn from your mistakes and move forward, closing out the cycle. Every layer of yourself you acknowledge is a layer that served its purpose. You are now feeling your power by seeing your inner strength and determination pay off. Be proud of this moment and let it carry you forward. I couldn't pull out a better card. I feel like that's like, I mean, I know I announced several cards, but that one like was right there. Like, seriously, close the door. Cut the cord. Close the door, cut the card. Cut the cord, excuse me. Tell me, give me some more, Spirit. See, didn't I tell you about addictions, right? Addictions, compassion. The situation is influenced by an addictive behavior that is influencing you or the person involved. Pain and trauma are being projected. Try to see the truth of the situation by stepping outside of the chaos to create an opening for forgiveness, patience, and compassion. And that is for you. Okay? You can have that compassion for them, but you don't owe them anything. Okay? Don't let nobody make you feel like you owe them another round and then another round. You do not owe that person multiple times to hurt you or to play in your energy or to waste your time. You don't owe them that. Tell me more, Spirit. And we got time to evolve. Decisions. Okay, Saboteur. You got decisions. It says it's not a negative situation, but a necessary one. Having the awareness to see it from your soul's perspective, that you choose much of this before you incarnate it is needed. This releases the victimhood mentality and pulls back your power. We must go through trials and tribulations as an opportunity to evolve. How you choose to interpret this situation hinges on your growth or not. So we got decisions, full circle, completions, and addiction, compassion. And then the overall energy is fun and adventure, joy. It's time to play and get reacquainted with your childlike self. Open up to your sense of adventure and fantasy. You've been way too serious and moving through the motions. Snap out of it and have some fun. It is time for growth. It's time to let shit go. Time to let people, places, and things that no longer serve you, release them, relinquish them. Focus on you now. You know, it's time. Stand on your own two. Get your own two to stand on. All right. So I plan to be back tomorrow night. That's the plan. If I make it, I make it. If I don't, hey, I'm just letting you know that's the plan. Hopefully at an 8ish, 8:30ish hour. But I want to thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Black Cherry and Latif, for helping me out. Thank Carmen. Thanks, Sabata, for coming. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Chrissy, Country Chrissy. That's my girl. One of my day ones. She came on back. I ain't seen her in a minute. Glad she back. All right, so I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna see y'all next time. Thank you for coming.